Good afternoon. This is Talk Time, and Time to Talk, and I am Val Carson. I am just a lifelong social worker. I don't think there's anything else I could have done differently other than be a social worker. But this career has brought me some of the most endearing people and situations and knowledge. And I finally got to a point where I wanted to share that. So today, our social work report is just to encourage and help people understand the importance of insurance and what our products are available with some of our major insurance carriers. But today, I am highlighting almost my lifelong friend. He was so young when I first met him. He was a baby, actually.
He had to a fly, as they say.
But I have the wonderful and smart and ingenious Marvell Turner Jr., my friend, my church member, my dog, my family, and one of my mama's favorite kids that she thought could hang every moon in the sky. If she wanted it done, Marvell was the person she thought could do it.
Look at you.
Marvell, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right, so just tell me right away before we get into conversation, tell me about this is your new endeavor. Like you are, just getting into this thing with Allstate, and I'm loving it.
Thank you.
Amazingly, I had just switched to Allstate. He ends up in the office with the agent that I contacted.
Yeah.
So that day when I heard your voice, I'm like,
Wait a minute.
I thought I called Josh.
Yeah.
But so I am so proud for you. I'm just so proud for you.
Well, thank you.
Now tell us about this new venture.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and I thank you.
Hey, you call, I'm here. Just a little background about myself. I was actually in the car business for 16, 17 years. Yeah.
But you helped enough people. You helped right?
Yeah. I can honestly say I walked away accomplishing everything that I wanted to at that point. I was last at Cadillac of Jackson. I was the finance manager, one of the finance managers there. Shout out to John Hill and the Cadillac crew. So I decided to make a transition. Funny thing is, my transition wasn't supposed to happen as fast as it did. But,
right. Sometimes we have no control over timing.
Yeah, God had other plans.
This is God's world.
Here I am. But nonetheless, it was something that I wanted to do. Yes. I was looking for, one, a little bit different career, same dynamic, just different product. Two, ownership.
Right.
And three, time. Time was probably one of the most valuable assets that I feel like I could have gained from making that transition.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Well, and a lot of times, and of course, everybody knows I'm always gonna explain as a single person, but not just as a single woman having to make decisions about different things, but as a caregiver. When my parents were older when they had me, I ended up taking on responsibilities that I didn't think that I would do.
Okay.
But as a child of older parents, I ended up managing things, and I can remember just having to look and say, "What is this? This is house insurance and car insurance," and then the whole bundle aspect came about.
Picking it up on the fly.
Right, but you have to learn about that. Like if you go out there blinded, you will end up being taken with all kind of extra hidden costs. Let me tell you, first of all, they outlived the term life or whatever it was. Then I got $600 on each one of those $10,000 policies.
Yeah.
I was floored. Like I learned the lesson with my dad, so I was prepared when my mom died.
Yeah.
But leading up to my dad, I didn't know. I thought insurance agents would tell you the truth or whatever. I couldn't even find an agent at that point. You know what I'm saying? So what I like about the group that you're with now, I'm so glad you're a part of that group. It's a person.
Yeah.
That when you call and you got a problem,
you can pick up the phone and call.
Yeah. It's not a call center.
No.
It's not an automated nothing.
No.
It's an agent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's as a matter of fact, In our agency, the Torrance agency. Shout out to Josh
Oh
Torrance.
yes, he's. I haven't even met him. Did you tell him that
Yeah,
I? Okay.
yeah. It's four of us.
Okay.
Of course, Josh being the lead agent.
Okay.
Then Miss Trina, who holds down everything.
That calls you if something looks funny on your
yeah.
payment. Yes.
She is the glue
Okay.
to that office because she handles pretty much 99%
Okay.
of the service work.
Okay.
Then you have myself, and then we have a new young man that started with us a few months ago named Hunter.
Okay. Okay.
And so primarily our day-to-day operation, one is to ensure that everyone's coverage is sustainable.
Right. Okay.
To offer coverage, offer quotes, and we'll get into that. And the other thing is to take care of the service work.
Well, and I can tell you something. When I was searching for a new product, I knew what my barriers were. I knew what I had an accident. I knew all that was going to cost. But when I talked to Josh, he just talked it down so simple.
Broke it down.
He was like, "Hey, I can't do the best, but I got something better than what you got."
Yeah.
And when he quoted the numbers, he said, "That's just not the best deal, but that's all I." I said, "You have just saved my whole life."
Yeah.
And immediately, he stayed on the phone with me the whole time, walked me through it, and that's what people need. Like, people need to know that there's somebody that actually is going to take time and listen to them and put their product together.
Well, one thing I can say, the car business definitely prepared me for what I am doing today.
Okay. I see that.
My motto is I don't live in nobody's wallet but my own.
Wow. That's okay. I got to remember that.
And
wow.
now if I start hearing that now, I need to go and get paid for that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the copyright.
Y'all heard it from me first. I don't live in nobody's wallet but my own. Now I got some folk that use it, and I gave them permission. But what that means is I am not trying to sell you anything.
Okay.
Because everybody's circumstances, everybody's situation is different. Another saying that I have is, I would rather make you mad by being honest with you than to tell you a lie to earn your business.
Right. And then you get mad at me for real.
And then you're mad at me anyway.
And forever.
Right. So I'm more long term versus short term.
Okay.
So with that being said, insurance is just like any other product. We'll take a loaf of bread, for instance.
Okay.
When you go to the bread aisle, you have multiple variations and brands of bread. And typically, you have one or two options. You may choose the latter of the two, or you may choose the middle option.
Right.
However, when you start looking at the ingredients, sometimes we realize that the more we pay is because of, in some cases, better ingredients. Right. However, we may not start off on that bread. We may start off with the beginning bread, beginning brand, because that's what we can afford.
Right.
And that's okay. As long as you, as a client, have the understanding of what you're getting and how it affects you.
Okay.
You ultimately have to make that decision on what works best for you and your wallet. Because one of the things that we try to do is break down those variations. Give you an example. Today, young lady called in, and she currently has insurance, and her insurance is going up. Now, you have, we'll just say beginning, middle, and higher end insurance companies.
Right.
Most of your insurance companies that start you off with a lower premium, eventually that a premium is going to go up at some point. It could be 6 months, it could be a year. Eventually you get to the point of where you would probably start with someone like me.
Right. Okay.
However, if an agent, anybody gives you insurance and you have a loan on a vehicle,
Okay.
and you are given liability insurance, those people are not your friend.
Oh wow.
Because essentially what you have is a sheet of paper just to say that you have
But
insurance.
you don't have anything of any value.
You have nothing to protect you, and the loan, let alone your vehicle, the
Right.
loan
Right.
that you have acquired,
Okay.
because you only have substantial coverage. You have no collision. You have no
You have only what the state requires.
general liability.
Right. And you have nothing to replace anything with.
And it may cover up to a certain point or a certain dollar amount on the car, but you're still left holding the bag when it comes to your loan.
Oh, right. Right.
So,
That's a whole nother conversation.
yes,
Yeah.
it may be within that price range, but here's how I look at budgeting. Once you have a dollar amount, you then know where to start your budget from.
True.
And that's better than having the lower dollar amount. And then it's not a matter of if, it's when and how much.
Okay.
That was something that I used to tell people when I was in finance and the automobile industry. A lot of people, I don't need a warranty. Understood.
Okay.
However, when that time comes, now that extra $30, $40, $50, $60 that you would pay for that warranty on top of your payment, you could have budgeted that, right?
And had the protection.
And had the protection. Whereas without it, now you have your car note plus that $3,000 fix.
Right.
And now you got a car that you can't drive until that car gets fixed.
Right.
So those are some of the things that I try to educate, and it kind of translates back to the insurance as well.
Right.
Start where you need to start with the idea and the premise of knowing what you have. However, if it's $40 difference, $20 difference,
Look at the benefit.
look at the benefits worth versus the dollar amount.
So with that, when you get to that, so the other thing that is, of course, the biggest trend that's going right now is bundling, saving, a certain amount when you do home, auto, or whatever. So my situation is a little different, where it's a house. I'm not renting it, but it's an air property. So I ended up doing the renter's version because I'm pretty much in an estate setting. Like,
Yes.
This is not, it's mine, but I'm sharing it with somebody. But it's got to be insured.
Correct.
So I'm insuring the contents of the dwelling.
Right. So basically, what you're insuring, and when you think about renter's insurance is good for any person that is renting a home, mobile home, apartment,
Okay. Any house you're renting.
any house that you are paying rent. Here's the reason. As a landlord, I have a landlord policy to protect the home,
The building, the
the
dwelling
building,
itself.
the
yeah.
dwelling. As a renter, your property gets damaged just as well as the home does.
Right.
However, what the landlord has does not cover you
'Cause
as the renter.
Right. And they're not going to cover you.
So think of it this way. If you took that home, apartment, or anything and you picked it up and you tilted it to the side, everything that would fall out that's of value,
Right.
that's what a renter's policy
That's a
covers,
good analogy.
right? And so you generally start, and a lot of people, the crazy part about it is renter's insurance is surprisingly, it's not, it's affordable.
Oh, it is very affordable.
Yeah, renter's insurance, depending on how much coverage you get.
Right.
I want to say the highest I've seen thus far is probably no more than $100, but generally it's in your 20s, and it sometimes can get a little lower than that.
I've only the most I've paid is for the $40.
Yeah.
That I'm paying. Now,
Yeah.
But
So-
but for what's in the house,
Yeah,
if I had to replace all of that, then I'd be devastated
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't get getting recovery, anything to replace it.
yeah,
But it was just the way that I found out, like, you really need to insure what you have, which in some instances may not replace all of the items,
No.
but it may help towards the repair for me as a renter.
Towards the rebuild.
Right.
We got, if we're in that situation, we have to think about the fact that we have to start over.
Right.
At some point.
Right.
But here's the thing. It doesn't just cover the property alone. You also have medical.
Okay. Yeah. And
that's tied in there.
Okay.
As well as guest medical.
Right.
So if someone comes into your apartment and
break their leg,
anything, right?
Yeah.
And they try to come at you,
right?
You have your renter's policy to help with that. So
and folks will come and try to follow over stuff.
And also, what a lot of people don't think about too with renters and home is if you ever are displaced because of a fire or anything where you can't live in your apartment, you have something in that policy to cover you for that as well.
Okay, good.
So
I can go stay at the Embassy Suites and just,
for as long as that amount will hold you, or even if you had to start over, at that particular point, you have that, So it has its benefits. It's not just you paying money out. I mean, the misconception and the thing is, no, I get it. I really get it. What if nothing ever happens?
Right. What if I never have a car accident? Or what if I never have a fire?
Then, baby, you've been blessed.
Exactly.
Right? But, again, it's not a matter of if, it's when and how much.
Right.
I would rather be prepared and budget for the what if than not to have anything and to have to start over from ground
zero. Because I've heard people say things like, oh, I'm just going to save my money, and if something happens. No, see, you're not going to save. Not saying that people don't save.
Yeah.
But it's hard to save for something you don't know how much it's going to be.
Yeah.
So if you had a loss for $25,000+ in a property and damages and all of that, and you said you've been saving that same $40, $50.
And then honestly, those savings shouldn't be savings for
that.
Yeah. Right. I mean, we were always taught to have emergency savings.
You always got to have, one finance person said you always have to have like 3 months.
Yeah.
Of your whatever it takes to run your life.
Yeah.
Have that saved.
But imagine if you had that 3 months plus you had your
insurance,
your policy. Now you basically doubled your wealth.
So now, brings us to the one of the biggest, and we talked about this a little bit the last time. We've talked about this a lot. This life insurance thing, if I have not heard of people losing someone, just abruptly or tragically or whatever.
Yeah.
And the first thing comes up, they didn't have no insurance. Now, we're in an era where the mortality rate for people, just say under 70, but now even under 50 and under 40.
Oh, yeah. We always start at 25 and go up.
The average
19
person
and go up.
Doesn't insure their children.
Yeah.
They stop insuring their children when their children age out, whatever. Then there you've got that young adult, between a young adult and maybe life insurance at an employer.
Yeah.
But every employer doesn't offer life insurance.
No.
So, and I'm not even going to say I got mine with work now, but I realize that when you start working for somebody,
you're starting over.
You don't have that insurance anymore. So that's why, for me, I've been looking at, I need, which was one of the conversations Josh and I had. You need to look at your life insurance, even if you're employed.
Yes. Because
something could happen.
Yes.
And then you won't have it.
And then here's my thing. What's wrong with having, more than enough coverage?
But some people think they're too young to venture into, life insurance. They don't even think they'll waive it even with their employers that offer it.
Because I get, and again, I get it. Like I said, I don't live in anyone's wallet but my own. I understand that everything is going up.
Oh yeah, it's.
However,
we're paying $10 for eggs still, so as far as I'm concerned, so
And however, the money that we're bringing in is not matching or not superseding what's being pushed in front of us today. You know?
Right.
And I get that, and that's where we have to stop, think, and plan. You know, we are at this point we're a reactive society. We're not proactive.
Oh yeah, we react to what's right in front of us. There's no futuristic
Yeah,
plan of action or anything.
and I'm going to say some of us.
Well, yeah, let's just say something. We have to be, yeah.
So the idea, in my mind, my philosophy when it comes to the life insurance, it's twofold.
True.
Legacy is one, because the first rule of life insurance, one, you're not buying it for yourself, you're buying it for your family.
Right, right.
What does that mean, Val? So
your
if
family won't be
I'm
looking
getting
crazy.
life insurance, I'm getting life insurance in hopes that if something were to happen to me, my wife and my children will be able to financially sustain themselves until, hopefully for the rest of their lives.
Right.
But realistically, there's no burden on my wife to figure out how to bury me. There's no burden on my wife to figure out how to pay off the bills, the house, the mortgage, whatever. The life insurance policy comes in and it covers those things.
Right.
So now my family does not have to struggle in my absence.
Right.
If it's done properly, not only will they not have to struggle, but you can financially set them up to where they're wonderful for the rest of their lives.
Well, and then
if it's done correctly.
You don't want them all stressed out to the point where, one, you want your kids to at least have the quality of life that you would have provided for them. You probably would have provided a whole lot more.
Yeah.
But you at least want them to feel like, even though Dad is not here,
he got you.
This is what he did for me.
Correct.
I can tell you one of the single things, like I said, when I had to start taking over my parents' affairs, understanding what needed to keep being paid.
Yeah.
It was very stressful. I felt overwhelmed, and I knew it was right in front of me.
So here's my question, because you said something, but I want to ask you this before you get too far. They're no longer here.
Right.
But there were still things that needed to be paid.
No. I mean, as far as maintaining, when I started being their caregiver, when I had to make sure those policies were paid, keep the house insured and all those things, they were still here.
But even after what I'm...
I ain't paying nothing.
But you did. Because, watch this. The home.
Oh, taxes, yeah.
Still got taxes.
Yes. Oh, yeah, the taxes.
And if there's a mortgage...
There was no mortgage.
But if there was...
Oh, right.
It still would have to...
Right.
At the point that I'm getting at is there are still financial obligations, even when we're no longer here, that still have to be met, especially if your wife is on the mortgage with you or your husband.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are things, they don't just go away, even with car notes.
Well, I will say this, and this is one of the greatest insurance legacies of all time. James McMurray.
Okay.
Was one of the, he was so angelic in what he did, but it was like that was his thing, that was his legacy. He knew how to protect you. Sometimes he would just call and say, Val, you need to come and let me show you what to do, because your parents have now gotten to, when they were over 65, there was no more coming to talk to them by themselves. He would say, look, I need you to be with them. I can come to them or whatever, because he taught me the importance of just what you just said.
Yeah.
What'll happen if they die tomorrow? This is going to be taken care of. The credit life on the house, on the mortgage. We paid it off before they died, but there was always a policy that if my dad had died or my mom, that the spouse, that mortgage would be paid for.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know about that product. They don't understand about that.
And here's the funny thing about insurance. When you look at home and auto, typically you buy your insurance when you get a car.
True.
When you get a home, you get homeowners insurance. And then what happens? We set it and we forget it. Right? So let's just say we've been in our home for the last 10 years.
Okay.
We've been paying that premium, and we get a letter, and all of a sudden it says, "Hey, your premium's going up $200," and we
Right.
say, "Oh," we may call and say, "Hey, why is my premium going up?" Me personally, and I know it's hard to do, because it's a lot of people out here,
Right.
but you should always set at least, whether it be every 3 years, 2 years, whatever works for you, a reassessment of what you're paying for. Here's the reason why. Premiums change. Premiums can go down.
Right.
You may have an old grandfather policy, that
Right.
only covers the bare minimum.
Right.
But now the cost of building a home has increased. So what you have now, you couldn't rebuild your home if you wanted to.
All right.
So a lot of people, and that's why we spend probably about 85 to 95% of our day calling to offer free quotes.
Okay. And that was how I got to Josh. And sometimes I would avoid that. I would not want to talk to all those people.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you how he impressed me. He texted me and said, "Hey, this is Josh. I see you requested a quote.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me when you want to do it, or I can email it, whatever." But it was all about, I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
I really I probably should have, but I waited till I was off one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I texted him and said, "Hey, can you call me about that quote?"
Mm-hmm.
Called me right back. Everything. I promise you it probably took.
I ended up seeing it and calling you.
I had already gotten it.
Yeah.
You called me.
I saw the text.
Right.
Yeah.
But he had set it up.
Yeah.
But when it first kicked in was when you got there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I was like, wow.
I ended up seeing it. I was like, let me call her and see if I can get it. And hey, Josh had her hooked up. I was too late, y'all.
But the thing was, and I would say this for, I don't know, I guess I want to say for just single women, but single men as well. But if you're single, especially if you're a single woman, some women, they avoid these kind of responsibilities, decisions, and they think that, like when you go get your oil change, like they'll say women always get taken advantage of. Well, I don't, because I done seen men go pay too much for an oil change.
Yeah.
But so it doesn't really matter that you're a woman and you say, well, I'm not a man, I don't know how to do this. Yes, you do, because if something happens to your husband or you're single and you need to learn about these things for yourself.
Yeah.
You take that with you, and then you on board. You on top.
It's just financial education.
It's financial literacy.
Yeah, that's it.
And a lot of times we don't think about where we are.
Yeah.
So, so happy that you are here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate it. I'm proud of you too.
Well, thank you. This has just really, really been inspiring for me to bring people that know stuff, in. And I know you out there, you're marketing right now, you're kind of, putting yourself out there. And I just want to support you. Not just because you're my insurance agent now, which sounds really good, but even if I weren't, I would still say, let me help you. And just get people connected to you. I hope if it reaches one person.
That's it.
Look, hey, call him up.
This is my favorite part. Like, I love helping people.
Right.
But being able to explain and give a better understanding of what it is and why it is. I'm a firm believer in the why.
Okay.
Like, don't just tell me nothing.
Right.
Show me why.
Right.
But hey, keep in mind, when you get a phone call from me, it's just a cap. I'm calling to help you hopefully get better coverage for a better price.
But as long as you're not a robot.
And no, I ain't no robot. It can get robotic now because it's repetitive. But here's the thing. The best part that I like about where I am, man, is, if I can't beat what you have, because I'm not trying to necessarily take you backwards. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If I can match the coverage that you have and I have a better rate, or if I see something that says, hey, you might want to consider this, because it's my job to help educate you and give you an understanding, but it's your job to protect yourself. Right?
You can take me to the water, but
I can't make you drink. But that's why I say I don't live in nobody's wallet but my own. But I promise you, I give you the right and adequate information. So yeah.
For all of those who I hope this reaches a large audience, if that's my goal, that I hope just take what he said. Different states have different insurance guidelines, but look for an agent that if you want to get information. I'm not saying that you can't, just be talking on the phone to someone that's giving you information, but if you're really, really wanting to put together a life plan package, kind of, just to get all your stuff together, look into your, in your area, your community, because, like I said, each state's insurance requirements and criteria are different for home, auto, and everything else.
Yeah.
But if you are in Mississippi,
The state of Mississippi.
if you're anywhere in the state of Mississippi,
I got you.
Clinton, Mississippi is right there, and that's the place you need to be.
Immediate area. All you gotta do is let me know, give me some time, and I'll head that way too. I have no problem with making a 3-hour, 4-hour drive, because it's important, and I believe in making sure that everyone's taken care of. However, if you're looking for me, you can find me on Facebook. My Facebook name is my name, Marvell Turner Jr. I've got a couple of pages. Just click on all of them because I post on all of them. You can also find me off of Highway 80 in Clinton, right across from the Mazzio's Pizza. We just got our new Allstate sign today put up, so yay. So you can't miss us. We're right there in the plaza with Hot Bowl. And that's me in a nutshell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
There's never a dull moment between us.
Nope.
Even when we're clowning and playing around, we always end up in some type of serious conversation about something. And I'm the oldest. So, he's learned so much from me.
Absolutely.
Now, look at him. He's all grown up.
I learn from the best.
I know. So, if you have any other questions, when you see the episode, just, put in the comments that you want to reach out. I'll definitely get that information to you. Again, this is Time to Talk. I'm Val Carson. This is our social work report. And we are happy to be better educated on what it means to be insured. So thank you. And we please push the subscribe button and make comments. Yes, because the producer, he's a boss man. So I have to pitch the subscribe button. Please do. He's in the background saying right. So, and he's young. I'm the oldest too. I don't know why I'm getting all these instructions from the younger ones. But thank you again. Hope you keep us tuned in. Once again, Marvell Turner Jr., Allstate Insurance, Clinton, Mississippi. Look him up on Facebook, Instagram, and you can reach out to me, and I will definitely connect you. Thank you.
Thank you.